about 6 or 7 years old, I was having quite a few nightmares for some reason. I couldn't figure out why. I felt like, you know, I should pray. I don't know where I got this from, but I felt like if I prayed about it, then it would help me out. So I started talking to God, and again, not knowing how I even knew who God was. But I started to pray and ask Him to help me not receive these nightmares because they're so scary. And it worked. All the nightmares started going away. I figured, you know, why not pray for something better, which was, you know, Christmas presents, and that worked too. You know, I got my parents blessed me a lot. I got this job right out of college, actually about a couple years out of college, and it was at a Mexican food restaurant. I started working there, and there was a gentleman who knew Christ, who knew about God, and yet he was going out and having a bunch of fun like young adults do, and that's what I did too. So we hung out quite a bit and had a lot of fun together, and were really, really crazy together. Sometimes we would end up in these conversations about Jesus, and I didn't really know what to say because I didn't have any family history in talking about Christ, or I didn't go to church a whole lot. There was just a few times that I remember. That, in a sense, was kind of the beginning of, okay, God's knocking on my door. From that point, I switched jobs from that Mexican food restaurant to a gym. When I went to this gym, a particular girl had taken a liking to me. I couldn't figure it out because it wasn't a liking like boyfriend-girlfriend type of thing, but more of just a genuine interest in me. And she was a Christian. Looking back, I know what the agenda was. She again was you know, helping God wake me up, more or less. From that point, I took a job in New York City, and thinking, you know, that fits my lifestyle. I'm a partier. Of course, I made tons and tons of friends, and I mean, I was pretty deep into debauchery, drugs, and smoking and drinking, and I was really coming down to the end where I had no money at all. I don't know where it was going to be able to come in from, and I was hungry, so I knew I had some bread at home. I went to the store around the corner from where I lived. I had just enough money to get 99-cent cheese. I bent down to get the cheese, and I was feeling very, very down, but a voice told me that, Greg, it's time for you to go home. I heard it audibly. Greg, you need to go back home, and it was in my heart, and just I knew that I needed to. I didn't question it. I called my parents and asked them if they could help me out to get home. When I came back from New York City, I was just trying to really get my life back together. I was trying to get it away, a little bit away from the drugs and the drinking, and which it carried on still when I was here in Dallas. My friends and I went out one night, and we met a girl who is Ginger, my wife now. She really opened up Christ to me. She's the one that really spoke into my life. I knew she was the one, so I asked her to marry me, of course, and she said yes, obviously. And what I knew in my heart is that I had to become responsible. I started going to premarital counseling, and during premarital counseling, the guy that was doing it for us gave me a booklet called The 4 Spiritual Laws. I read it over and over again, not really understanding what it was saying. It does have the salvation prayer, which again is the prayer to ask Christ into your heart. When I read that prayer, not knowing it was the prayer, I said to myself, you know, this would be a great prayer to do whenever my wife and I pray that evening. My wife and I started praying that evening. I opened it up, read it, and you know, sure enough, it was asking Christ into my heart, and I kept moving on and praying about some other things. After we were done, Ginger said to me, you know, Greg, you know you just prayed the salvation prayer. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what that is, but hey, it was a good prayer. I did say the prayer at that point, so I was saved. I knew that God was the one that I needed help from in order to become the man and the father and the husband that I needed to become for my wife. And that's exactly what I wanted to do. And from now on, I'm redeemed, and I've committed my life to Christ, and it's been the best thing ever. I mean, He created us, and He loves us so much, and I owe it all to Him for what's going on right now. And that's why I'm doing this, and I'm wanting to share this testimony with you, because Christ is simply amazing.